welcome back. Welcome back to another episode.
Welcome back to the Outdoor Talk Podcast.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sparking him up a stogie, a nice cigar, huh? One for the books. He's a grown man now, married, has a wife. He's about to get a cleaning lady.
I need a cleaning lady bad.
Need a cleaning lady.
I never realized how fast a house can get dirty.
Man.
Because growing up, like we were fortunate enough to have a cleaning lady.
Yeah.
And like she cleaned her house probably once a week. I think she came twice a week, but she only cleaned half the house. Like breaks it up just because it was so much of a mess, especially with 3 kids.
Oh yeah.
Like growing up, my brother and my sister, we made a mess.
Well,
Going in and outside all the time. But yeah, I realized with a dog that sheds like crazy.
Yeah.
I need a cleaning lady. So if you're tuning into this podcast, this is the first. Actually, if you're tuning in on YouTube, this is the first live
action
videoed podcast, and pretty pumped up. We could have been doing it this whole time, but I really wanted a decent backdrop and just kind of clean area. But we're outside on the porch right now, so it's kind of, I don't know, you know. But it's cool because now we have viewers that can watch us and see actually what we're talking about, and just us throwing our hands, sipping on a little cold coffee or whatever we got.
Oh man, coffee sounds so good.
You want some coffee?
Yeah.
I got some cold brew.
Do you really?
I really do. We can take a break real quick and go get you some.
Let's do it.
And we're back with the coffee. You couldn't resist. It's like 9 o'clock at night, and we got some cold brew.
Yes, sir. Good.
I'm sipping on a little something.
Oh, yes, sir. Got that Sprite and whiskey.
Sprite and whiskey.
Sprite and whiskey.
Sprite and Wild Turkey 101.
101. What are we talking about tonight? You got anything on your mind? You're about to have a trip. Let's hear it.
We're about to go. Okay. We're about to go down to the bay for Christmas. My wife, her family owns a little bay house down in Matagorda Bay, down on the coast of Texas, down on the Texas coast down there, and great fishing, great fishing. I love it. It's so much fun going down there to the bay.
What kind of fish you catch?
Catching them reds, them trout, and flounder.
Dude, you need to start fly fishing.
I know.
I think that would be sick.
Well, I fly fished a little bit, but it's just not like, it's fun, but it's expensive.
Yeah.
And I already got a bunch of expensive hobbies.
Oh,
Hunting,
man.
fishing.
Just one
duck
more.
hunting, steel shot ain't cheap.
When you can go. Like, Broken Bow's not too far from here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like you're catching, 18-inch fish, 20-inch fish. But
there is some big ones in there.
It'd be fun to catch, a couple little ones and throw them back.
Yeah, now I've got a little fly rod. It's like a little 4-weight, which is really, really lightweight.
Yeah.
They measure a fly rod by the weight of weight of line you're throwing. It's just because you don't throw the lure, you throw the line. So it's a whole different ball game. It's like a whole different learning experience, but it's fun. One time,
it looks really cool.
Yeah.
And I've seen some sick slow-mo videos of people fly fishing on these like gnarly looking rivers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be really, really cool to get good at and
at
make
least,
videos on,
I know. Elisa's uncle, he fly fishes reds down there. And he said you just get in a little boat or walk around.
Yeah.
And you can see getting the real shallow water, like 6 inches, 8 inches of water, whatever. Them reds get real shallow.
Oh,
and you can see their tails up there, and they'll be pushing shrimp up, and they'll just like boil the water and whatever. You can throw that little shrimp imitation or bait fish imitation, or crab imitation flies, whatever. And you throw it right there in front of them and just kind of give it a little couple pops, and them redfish just hammer it.
Yes, sir.
The best thing about reds, you use bass tackle. It's the coolest thing because like you just use like your normal bass rods that you use here, but you go down there and you catch 28-inch redfish, and it'll spoil you damn near. It's awesome.
Do they fight pretty hard when you're reeling? Oh,
it is.
I bet it's adrenaline rush.
A 28-inch red is pretty good size red.
Mm-hmm.
Redfish have a slot. It's like from 20 to 28 inches. That's the only ones you can keep. But when you catch even the underslot, like 20-inch or smaller, those suckers feel like you got like a 5-pound bass on. And then, I don't know what it is about saltwater fish, but they pull some drag.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun.
Oh,
but
yeah.
That's what we got.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
But hey, I have seen like Yeti's made a couple promo videos and things like that, coming out with a new line of products, whatnot. Yeah. They redfish.
They do.
Correct? Fly fish, the redfish.
You can fly
They're
fish.
standing on top of the little, it's like there's a stand on top of their motor, and they get up there.
Little polling platform.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean, they make some sick videos.
I know.
I'm telling you, fly fishing videos.
I can't imagine what a big redfish on a fly feels like. After catching with just like a normal bass rod and reel on 20-pound line, 15-pound line. And we use the swim baits, like Bass Assassin makes some little swim baits.
Yeah.
And I love the names of them. They're all like chicken on a chain, or
Chicken
electric
on a
chicken, or whatever. And
That's cool.
Salt and pepper, you know.
Yeah.
It's really cool, and it's just a whole different little community down there, like a fishing community.
Growing up, dude, and fishing, and I remember way back when I was probably middle school, and man, what were those? The tiki worms. What were those called?
The Cincos?
Yeah, the Cincos. Yeah. It's identical
Okay.
to a Cinco,
All right.
but they were called tiki worms. You get them at Walmart.
Okay. So
And
it's like an
pumpkin
off-brand.
pie.
Oh, yeah?
Pumpkin pie was the name of this color. And dude, it looked so stinking good. Like when you're young and you hear like Zoom, let's say purple fleck, you know, or watermelon red, it's like your dad might have had an old package of them in the garage, like when you're going through some things, and you're like, oh man, these look so cool. It's watermelon red, you know, like I don't know. It's just
I heard
like
one
a
is
kid
called a
thing.
watermelon hootenanny.
Watermelon hootenanny.
I've never seen them in the store, but somebody told me, they said that's like, so if you can find them, you'll catch every fish.
Really?
Got to get the watermelon hootenannies. I don't even know what brand that makes. But
Oh man.
I'm a big fan of like dark black and blues.
Oh man.
I love them.
Oh yeah.
Black and blue power worms,
Bass
or black
fishing?
and blue jigs.
Bass
Yeah,
fishing?
bass.
Okay. Yeah.
I love pitching jigs around stumps.
That's what we need to do. You need to get
know
a
it.
bass boat. We'll wrap it. Can't be still.
Hey. I got a surprise coming. It ain't no bass boat,
What you?
but it might have a transom on the back of it.
Yes, sir.
And it might have a jet engine on the back. Not a jet engine, but like a jet outboard.
That's awesome.
So we got something coming. We're not going to talk too much about it because I'll make some videos on it, and I'm pretty pumped.
Dude, that's sick.
It's at the shop right now getting some custom work done to it.
Some maintenance done.
No, not maintenance. Not maintenance. Not yet. Custom work. So it's going to be sick. I can't wait to bring some really fire content for y'all. This
That'd be
new, something that floats. Starts with a B.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Man, not to spoil anything, but my first boat. I ended up getting when I was like 18. I got a 17-foot Skeeter, a 1976
Woo!
Skeeter.
Hey, my first
That
boat
is-
was an 88, so it's not too far off.
Man, I was so pumped. That dude turned it on. I knew nothing about boats. I didn't even have the money in my account. I just spoiled little brat, you know, ended up getting this boat, getting the privilege to get it. And man, it was army green, but it had that sparkle finish. It's almost like a lime green almost.
No
but
glitter
like
boats.
in between, it was in between lime green and like dark green, if you can only imagine, you know. And then that sparkle finish on it. But man, that boat, I took it out like the first day, and I don't know if I blew a lower unit or what, but anyways, ended up every other time I took it out, the motor wasn't working. Something was wrong with it. I mean, busting out another 1,000.
That's what they say. It's what a boat stands for.
Yeah.
Break out another 1,000.
And when the
Like a
first
little acronym for it.
the first guy told me that and explained, I was kind of shocked. You know, it makes sense, but I
Yep.
was like, get away from me. Like,
know.
don't even tell me about that, please.
Yeah. With all this hot weather, I'm like in the fishing mood right now. I'm still in the killing mood.
Yeah.
Hunting and stuff. But
Oh, yeah.
like, it's been so hot here in Northeast Texas. It's just like on Christmas Day or the day after Christmas, it's supposed to be 80.
Yeah.
So we ain't
It's definitely a weird winter.
I know. So like fishing and the crappie right now are biting really good.
It just
So-
makes me think, though, that January, it's going to turn around. You know what they say about Texas weather? If you don't like it, wait 20 minutes and things
yeah,
change,
stay
right?
a little longer, it'll
But
change.
I feel like our cold weather is going to be here in January.
Well, that's what happened last year.
I
We
know.
had that little snowstorm.
Man, the
Snowvid.
ice storm took out electricity all in the Metroplex area. Dallas is just like 2 hours away.
Yeah.
What direction would that be? Is southwest?
Southwest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's 2 hours away. And man, there's power outages everywhere.
I know.
There's power lines
Rolling
falling down.
blackouts. That was
Yeah.
terrible.
It
And
was-
like everybody freaked out.
Oh yeah.
There's already no toilet paper on the shelf from COVID. We're out there.
No, that was another weird incident too, because COVID when it came,
Yeah.
it's been what, a year now, right
No,
at a
I
year.
mean, I guess it's still going on.
Yeah.
You don't hear. I stay out of the loop, so I'm not hearing as
Oh, I
much
don't
about it. But I'm sure, like, if you get back in it, like you'll hear it and stuff. But yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy stuff. But
Well,
I know. But with this hot weather, I'm just in the fishing mood. I want to go catch some, especially go down there to the bay
Oh,
this week
yeah.
for Christmas. Go catch some reds, some trout. And you talking about good eating?
really,
Woo!
I've never had any redfish. I don't think.
Redfish
I
is
could,
really
maybe I don't know.
redfish is really like a firm meat, and like we always cook them on the half shell, which you just flay it with the skin on, and then you
Yeah.
take the whole thing and lay it on the grill or whatever. That's really good. But last year when I went down there, we we tried something new, and I've never done it. My Elisa's dad, he's done it before, but it's called redfish throats, and it's
wow.
like the collar or like the under the throat of a fish.
Yeah.
But the meat is not the same texture, but the flavor is 10 times better. I would throw away the fillets and keep the throats. Not
Really?
kidding. That's how much better it was. But now you want to talk about some good eating. You talking about the pork chop of the sea, the flounder.
The flounder.
I don't know
The
if you want-
flatfish, huh?
Flatfish.
Yes, sir.
They are like crappie.
Man, like I guess it was you. You go down there, and I guess you bow fish flounder.
Gig 'em?
Yeah. No.
Yeah, you can bow fish them.
No,
and
it
gig 'em.
was stingrays. That's what it was.
Stingrays, yeah.
Stingrays. You bow fish stingrays, but you gig flounders then.
Yeah, you can bowfish them too, but most of the time, the flounder they don't really like run from you. They burrow in the sand,
Yeah.
and they look like a boot print. So like you're looking for like these little boot prints in the water.
Really?
It's like a little depression in the sand,
Yeah.
and then you want to get up there. You can get right up on top of them, and they're in like from however deep water to inches. Like
Yeah.
their backs almost stick out of the water.
Okay, so
How
you're
shallow.
underneath the water, goggles on.
No, you're in a
snorkeling,
boat or walking.
really?
Like you can walk with
Oh,
a flashlight,
spotlight.
headlamp.
Oh, I got
yeah,
you.
spotlight. We always
Yeah.
use lanterns, like
Oh,
old
yeah.
school. Like take you an old lantern, and you put tinfoil on the backside of the globe so it
Dude,
doesn't
that's
blind you.
sick.
And those little chains that come with the lantern that you hang it with, you tie it from the little handle
Yeah.
to the propane bottle, and it like keeps it at 45 degrees, and it's like the perfect floundering
Dude,
rig.
that's crazy.
And you'd
You
walk
put it
down
on a
the-
little boat, or
Well,
you
you
just
can-
carry it?
You just carry it, walk down the bank with a gig, like a frog gig, and you
Oh, nice.
gig them suckers. I'll tell you a little story about the flounder gigging.
Yeah.
First time I ever did it, I was with my wife and her family, and they're like, they live down there. They're hardcore flounder giggers, giggins, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, gig 'em, but I guess it's what I don't know. Anyways, her grandpa is like super anal about gigging flounder. Like it's like,
He doesn't like doing it.
no, he loves it.
He loves it,
He
okay.
is, but he's competitive, and he's like, okay, I'm going out. We're in my boat. I
Yeah.
brought my bow fishing boat down there, and we're going along. And I was like, he's like, right there, right there. I was like, I don't see him. He's like, it's right there. I was like, just gig him. I was like, okay. I gigged that sucker dead center in the middle of that fish,
Dude.
and he's like, don't be gigging him in the middle of the boat. Get out of here.
Oh,
So
my
he-
God.
He started raising hell, just like telling me what. I mean, this is my first fish over gig.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I remember like it was yesterday. But he is like, if you don't gig him in the head,
Oh yeah.
and you mess up the meat, he's like, get to the back of the boat, you're done. And I was like, all right, I'm done.
Hey, you joker, it's my boat. You get to the back of the boat.
But
Man.
that was a funny story. Funny memories.
Speaking of stabbing fish, though, man, your bachelor party. Let's just kind of sum up the year. Keep summing up the year. You talk about the bay. I know you go down there in the summer months. I know we're talking about fishing too.
Yeah.
But your bachelor party weekend.
Mhm.
That
Choke
was it.
Canyon.
Choke Canyon Lake. We ended up. We got an Airbnb pretty close to Choke Canyon for the most part. Like an hour drive. Not too
It
bad.
was on, the Airbnb was on the other lake, Lake Corpus.
Lake Corpus, though. That's where we did majority of our fishing, or ended up becoming one of the main places where
Yeah.
we both fished. But I had a lot of fun that night.
I know. That was a great trip.
That was a good
we
trip.
didn't get crazy. We
no,
shot fish.
it wasn't crazy. No, yeah, but dude, we stayed out till 3 in the morning.
Almost. No, it was later than that.
That other boat, we had 2 boats, okay, and Nelson was kind of running our little boat. We had Peyton was with us too.
Yeah, we were on Peyton's boat, and then
Yeah,
Ben, everybody was on Ben's boat.
Yeah.
And Rance's boat. We
Rance-
had 3
it was
boats.
yeah, because I remember me, Blake, and Rance. We were both fishing, and then y'all were both. I don't know. We split up multiple times, but dude, our crew that we had that night, that was a good group. And
Yeah.
then on top of that, we shot some fish too.
I know.
Came to shoot.
Yeah, we had some trouble though. Remember we dropped a cell phone in the water. Keaton dropped his cell phone.
Yeah, that was.
I dropped a GoPro that day.
Yeah.
And my GoPro had the waterproof housing. Well, it's a GoPro 8. GoPro 8. The whole thing's waterproof.
Yeah.
But the door on it, I took it off where I can plug in a microphone to get better audio, and it fell in the water and made it not waterproof. And it's alligator infested water down there. And our buddy Greg hopped in, probably about, I don't know, chest deep, a little higher, and he found that sucker for me.
Dude.
That's a good friend right there.
Yeah, he'll give you the shirt. Cameron was actually in the store the other day, and we were sitting there talking about him. I asked because Greg was in the store. I asked him, okay, Greg's a taxidermist here locally in Lamar County, Fannin County, and just in the area. And the Joker's actually a really, really good taxidermist.
Very good taxidermist.
And,
he's quality work.
Just a lot of my buds here in town actually get some of the work done from him or whatnot, and he's just done good work. But I asked him, he came in the store, and I was like, dude, if if I kill my big buck or get the chance and opportunity to shoot the bobcat. The previous podcast, I told y'all I missed the bobcat twice.
It happens.
But if I get the chance to shoot either of those, I said, man, you have time, are you too booked up? Because I know sometimes, just like the deer processing places that we have here in places that we have in town, man, they get booked up fast, especially when the season starts. And same thing with taxidermy. As the season progresses, the later and later it gets, it's like the more busy he gets. So I was just making sure he had time. And dude, he was like, yeah, bring it in. He said, I got you. He said, I'll take care of you, whatever. But me and Cameron, I walked in the back, took care of something. I came back out, and the Joker was gone. And I was like, yo, where did Greg go? And anyways, he's like, he left. He had to go work, whatever. But
yeah, he's a fireman.
I told Cameron, sorry, I thought of his last name first. Couldn't even think of his first name. But anyways, I told him, I said, that Joker right there would literally give you a shirt on his back.
He would. He'll do anything for you.
If it made you warmer, anything.
I know it.
If you needed a shirt, homeboy would give you a shirt.
Yeah. Yeah, he does good work. Yeah, he does good work. And the thing about a taxidermist, like a good one, they might do their own hides or they might send them off, get them professionally done. Yeah. So a lot of times they don't get booked up as fast because they'll send all their hides off and they get their hides back in like spurts. So then they'll go and do all the hides that they got, they'll go ahead and knock them out, and then they'll get some more hides in and some more, and then it just kind of goes out throughout the year. And a good taxidermist, especially last year when it got booked up, and things, how like the forms, the molds or whatever, the forms for your deer, those things come from overseas, I'm sure. So like, or the foam does at least.
Yeah.
So a lot of that stuff got back ordered, and they got booked up last year, but he does good work.
Oh yeah.
He would give his shirt off your back.
Give
his shirt off your back.
For sure.
However that goes.
But anyways, so what's on the agenda for this year? Do you have any idea, any plans on getting some mounts? Any mounts that you really want? Is it a redfish?
No, that'd be kind of cool. Maybe if I had a good little man cave, or for our backdrop on the Outdoor Talk podcast, because it's the Outdoor Talk.
Yes,
anything
sir.
Outdoors, from fish to deer to ducks.
Give us a little sales pitch. Come on, bring it.
Yeah.
I like it.
I'm not a salesman. I can't. I couldn't sell that pen to you.
Sell me your cigar, real quick.
You want to puff?
No.
It's got the good shit in it.
Oh my word, man! But
what about you? What you got? What you got? Any? I know if you kill a big deer, you want to get him mounted.
Shoulder mount.
I
do not
have
any
a
deer
ducks in
shoulder
the freezer
mount.
or anything like that.
No, man. Well, okay. So my dream was to get my Pintail mounted, but during the incident of the ice storm, we lost power in the freezer. It ended up ruining a lot of meat. Got ruined too. I had some crane meat still left over from last year and stuff like that. So I mean, that close to the season, ending, and then us having this big ice storm, and I just lost a lot of my birds.
You should have stuck them all outside because it's frozen outside.
That's pretty good too. But also too, man, the last time I got one of my ducks mounted, I ended up getting a canvasback mounted, and it was like, this was 2017, let's say, and it was like $350. Like for me, it might not be a lot of money out there to y'all, but like $350 on a mounted duck, you're like, man, yeah, I'll save that. I'll go put that in my savings account, whatever. So, but no, man, I want to get some more ducks mounted. Now that I'm in a completely different place than I was then. Just some unique birds though. Like if I do kill a pintail with a nice pin on it, I'll probably get that mounted. Man, it's been a long time since I've killed a redhead, and I had one opportunity. We had some clients out.
Yeah, one of the only redheads I've shot was, I think me and you shot at the pond.
Yeah,
I think it's me and you. Maybe me and you and Peyton, or me and Peyton. I can't remember, but that's the only time I've ever seen a redhead. I might have shot one. It might have been a canvasback. I can't remember. I get them mixed up, like in the flight, or like.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Like
they're pretty easy, like to determine like what it is. Like when you see it, the canvasback, man, it's got a lot of black on it.
Really,
and it's got black coming down on his chest. It's actually really, really cool.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, in this area, you don't see too many of them.
I know.
But in West Texas, we had that one playa that we hunted in. I'll tell you where is that, Tahoka, man. And I'll tell you, we destroyed some buffalo heads, canvasbacks, just some diver ducks that you don't really get the opportunity to kill down here.
Especially in West Texas. Like,
oh, yeah. It's
divers in a little playa, it's like a foot or 2 foot deep.
Oh, yeah.
Max. But actually I shot a, what was that thing? It's a hybrid. It was a widgeon mallard hybrid.
Yeah.
down there, and I was gonna get that thing mounted, but I waited too long, and it got freezer burnt, and the head fell off, and I sold it to a blind kid.
Okay, so on this hunt, you sold it to for real? You're like, no, get out
You ever
of here,
seen
bro.
Dumb and Dumber?
Yes, I've
He
seen
sold
that.
the blind kid the dead bird and no head. He duct tapes it back on.
Oh my gosh,
He even played it like, you sold it to a blind kid, Harry.
dude, it's been a minute since I've seen that. Honestly, I used to watch that when we'd go on family vacation. Throw it in
Yeah.
a little DVD player and watch it in the back seat. Yes, sir.
Anyways, hybrid.
Oh yeah, so this hybrid on the hunt that we went on. Yeah, my bad. We were supposed to. I thought we were supposed to have cons. I guess not. It was a buddy hunt though.
Yeah,
Me
it
and
was.
Nelson ended up getting to go to the supply. And didn't we start out that morning with the big group though? And everybody started peeling off.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
It was like I think there was 6 or 7 people,
I got to hunt with my boss.
but it was all buddies. It was like
Yeah.
his buddies.
Right. It's just basically Tool Creek's buddy group almost.
Yeah.
And then Nelson and I got to tag along. Of course,
Last day of the season, I think.
it was like more like guy. I think Ryan was there too.
Yeah.
Daniel was there. Dane.
Mhm.
There's a bunch of us. But man, that was a good duck hunt. And now,
It's a great trip. A lot of fun. I got a YouTube video on it on my YouTube channel. Y'all can check it out. We'll have a link down in the description where you can find it.
but like everybody started peeling out there like by 8:30, and I don't know the flight pattern that morning. It was super weird. Like the birds acted kind of shy at the beginning. But then all of a sudden they started working, and when they started working, dude, we were having time of our lives.
I
You know,
know.
we
It
were
was great.
videoing. At one point, we had 11 birds behind us, and we needed one more bird. We ended up shooting this one bird, but as we are kind of gathering our things together, that was the morning we ended up. He shot his hybrid. But dude, we had a mallard hen right behind us. I was counting birds. I grouped everything up like we needed to, and go back to check the birds. Count one more time. A stinking mallard hen had crawled off
Yep.
behind us, and we lost one bird. I have
I
no
know.
idea what
It's pretty
what happened to
thick
that.
down there, and there's like tumbleweeds and like that. I don't even know what kind of brush is down there,
Yeah,
but they're just like they can hide good.
yeah.
down there.
Those ducks when they're wounded or scared. And I'll tell you, some of the diver ducks, like teal are really bad about doing it. Dude, you wounded teal, and they will dive down.
Yeah.
And like cling on to any grass, anything and they'll commit suicide.
Suicide mission.
Yeah, it's basically is what it is.
I mean, they're already shot. So I mean,
The bird goes down, and instead of coming up and letting you feed on him or whatever he thinks we're gonna do to him, because he's got bullets in him, I guess.
Yeah.
The Joker wants to go out the easy way. Freaking poon. No, I'm just kidding.
that was a great
Man.
hunt. That was a lot of fun, and we shot some pheasant in the evenings.
That video is sick.
That was so much
That
fun.
was awesome.
I think the pheasant was.
Oh, tell
even though
them
he-
what you use though, because
Yes.
we recommended clients at 4-shot. It was perfect, 4 or 6-shot, and that way it reaches out, but you're not destroying the bird. And I remember Nelson, he came up to me. I'll let you finish it.
Yeah, we just got done duck hunting. And I'm not an upland bird hunter. I don't shoot. I mean, I shoot dove. That's a. I don't know what you call that. Is a dove upland? No, dove upland is like quail
And pheasants.
and pheasant.
Yeah,
So-
it's just a migratory game bird.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyways, for the pheasant, I'm out there duck hunting, and I've got a extra full Carlson cremator on there with number 2 shot, steel shot that we just got done hunting with, and I was full pattern them sucker, and when they pop up, they're at your feet, and they fly up, and then you're supposed to wait till they get out a little farther, and I would just bust them, and there was like clouds of feathers just like poof.
It
just
looked like a white Christmas, man.
It's crazy. Y'all need to check that video
Feathers
out if you
everywhere.
haven't seen it, and we'll link it down there in the show notes. But it's pretty sweet.
Man,
That was so much fun.
That was a good trip. It was kind of a spontaneous trip though, because like we were planning it, and then we didn't know if it was going to get to happen, and then it ended up getting to happen. And he booked it down to West Texas. It's like a 7-hour drive from his home, so it's a long trip. And I appreciate you coming out, dude. There's some good memories that we
Heck yeah.
had. And speaking of that trip too, that same morning hunt where he killed the hybrid, the hen ran away from us. He's in West Texas, 7 hours away from his house. We ended up getting our cover photo for the outdoor talk there too. So that's what the background where you see the ducks flying. That was right before morning started, shooting
Sure
those
was.
birds. And then your deer last year,
the
dude.
power of Photoshop.
Oh man,
I
that
threw a
deer.
deer in there.
That deer's a good one.
I got so many like. So where'd you shoot that deer again? I see.
Oh yeah.
Pivot and ducks in the background. I was like, Photoshop boys.
Deer was not photoshopped at all,
No,
horn wise.
the deer. I had that same picture on my Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
Without the background change.
I kid you not, that deer too. After we got done taking those photos that night, it looked like a deer that should be on a cover of a magazine for real.
Check this. We'll throw a photo up on the screen. I want y'all's opinion on this Outdoor Talk cover photo.
Oh,
Check this one out. I think this one's sick. I made that one on Photoshop.
That is nice.
You sent me that picture, and it's
I
like
that.
It's like crystal clear.
Dude, this hunt right here. You know what hunt that was? If I didn't take that photo of those pennies on top of Snowy, okay. Nelson ended up getting to come up to Lubbock. It was my first year there, and I don't know, like West Texas, I had the mentality I was going to get to work for like a guide company. I called, asked around, had no luck. No guide company wanted a college student, understandable, whatever. So I went out and I scouted myself, found some good dove spots, found some really good duck spots.
Yep, just knocking on doors, just asking for permission.
This playa, that the morning before Nelson came up, I ended up getting a scout. It loaded, like absolutely loaded. And pennies, mallards, and like teal were like the main group of birds that I'd seen on it anyways. Well, from the road, the highway, I say road, it was just a county road there. Man, you could see water. The sun it was a real sunny day. The following day, it ended up being sunny too. But like when we got out there, and I knew it was the spot, had it marked on Onyx, whatever. We got to the ply, and I kid you not, it was like 2 inches of water.
Yeah, and the whole thing. And it's like, what do you think, about 4 or 5 acres?
I have no idea how big it was.
Like
from the road, it looked, especially the water too. You could only see just like
it's like
a pond size worth of water.
And a ply is just a depression in the ground that holds water out there in West Texas.
But when we got there, I was like, maybe I accidentally dropped the wrong pin. I didn't even know if we're on the right spot. And turns out, man, we waited. We got those blinds brushed in with those tumbleweeds.
Yeah, our layouts were pretty much sitting in water.
But we were hidden. And those
we had
birds,
the best hide. You couldn't ask for a better setup.
That was so much. We ended up shooting a 4-man limit. It was an opening morning West Texas hunt, and that cover photo right there, that was kind of some good memories to it.
Yeah,
for sure.
That was a good hunt.
We limited out on pennies. That's why I was able to take those photos.
That hunt right there will ruin you.
Oh,
because that was my first hunt in West Texas with y'all, and it was just like, I mean, I expected it to be like that the whole time. And I've been on some other hunts that we didn't do as good.
Yeah,
but we've always shot birds out there. See, the West Texas, the way the fly zone for the central fly zone, it's like almost dead center. The West Texas and like north central Texas, our fly zone. So they get way more birds than we do here in Northeast Texas. We're like, if you look at a map on the fly zones, and like one has like the pictures of ducks like scattered out.
Yeah,
our area has like nothing. It's like between the central fly zone and the Mississippi fly zone. It's like,
yeah, we don't have much here.
It's just not here. I mean, especially this year. This year, just the weather's just, I don't know. There needs to be a big freeze up north to just push them down, and I feel like it's going to be like the last couple weeks of the season.
Oh yeah,
if not after the season. By the time we get that,
I'm hoping we get some crazy weather early January and it pushes these birds down. But same thing with whitey too, because whitey, well, man, we don't even have whitey here.
I know.
Snowbirds, they're always here around at least December. I was even saying in my mind when I was thinking about it, it's like late November, early December. But I mean, it's almost thinking Christmas.
I know.
And there's no white birds here.
Yeah, and we always do Christmas New Year's.
New Year's, Christmas.
Yeah.
See, last year we ended up getting to do a Christmas hunt. Year before it was a New Year's hunt, and oh man, that New Year's hunt right there. I had to explain it, man. I had some good buddies show up that morning, and a lot of them didn't feel too good, man. They had too much to drink the night before. One guy was carrying.
They stayed up all night and they just showed up.
Oh yeah,
we're like, they ain't coming.
And they wanted to help too. And man, there's nothing more appreciative like when you go out with a group of guys that are willing to help. Sacrifice a little energy and time to make some stuff happen. But he had basically the biggest decoy bag we had, and it's just socks, or shells or whatever.
They're still heavy though. You can pack them suckers in there.
Hey, and it's a blackland too. So if any of you are familiar with blackland sucks, especially when it's wet.
Oh man!
And it had just rained a couple days before, and so that field was covered in some water, and that's why the geese were there. In my opinion, now I could be completely wrong here, but it was I don't even know what type of field it was or what it was planted.
It was a cut cornfield that year because there's wheat on the other side of us. That year was a cut corn. Because I remember seeing those corn stalks out there.
We've hunted a lot together.
We have. Maybe that was a cut wheat field.
It was like
Or a hay
it looked
field
like
or something.
hayfield. It was like CRP looking grass.
I thought that was okay. Maybe it was the cornfield was the one we shot the birds in. Wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All the like the big group of birds.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
With the Canadian, that was the Christmas hunt. That was last
and
year.
The ducks.
But
that
the
was
year,
awesome.
the year before though, it was like kind of not standing water. But some guys ended up wearing Carhartts and getting mad at me because they got wet. But anyways, I was like, just wear some Carhartts, you'll be good. It was out there, like we got out there, it was soaking wet. But anyways, that field, what happened is that rain, it would hit that field and it would turn up over like worms, maggots, like little tiny little some type of grub, and those snow geese that came in and they were literally digging them up, and so you could see the like excess and leftovers. But man, that joker, he took that big bag of decoys and started, walking across the field. It was too wet to drive on, would get stuck. We're in the hunt, whatever. But man, he ended up having to take a knee, and he ended up throwing up a couple times, and like proceeded to pick that bag back up.
He's a trooper.
And just truck him to where we wanted to go, where the X was, where we thought it was that day.
For snow geese, you need a good group of guys that ain't gonna complain, putting up all those 5, 6, 12 dozen decoys, however many you're gonna put out. 'Cause you put a big old wad of decoys out there.
So snow geese is different because you're
The old
throwing
clown's
out your
clown's face. What do you call
clown's mouth. Come on
Clown's
now.
mouth.
It's like a big afro, like you see just a typical clown. They always have their afro, red afro. Ronald McDonald,
Yeah.
he does it best, man. No.
Yeah.
And it's like, let's just use Ronald McDonald as an example because he's got the red afro, right? So that's where your majority of your decoys are. And then it breaks down, and he's got his face here, and then he's just got the end of his mouth. So it's gonna be so weird. I'll do it on myself, but it's like the majority of your spread is here, and then the bottom of the chin is like the last. It's like the singles, the 1 and 2. So you put them way out there, and then they come in and they want to be where the majority of the group is. And that clown's mouth is basically the white in Ronald McDonald's face. That's where you have 2 little pockets. That could be the clown's mouth, or you could actually have it just wide.
We need a whiteboard. We need a whiteboard where you can like draw.
That would actually be really
draw
cool.
our spreads in the background. That'd be kind of pretty handy.
That would be actually really cool. Like just instructional little video, like talk about it 10, 15 seconds, and you'd have everything you need to know on it.
Leave us a comment. Let us know if that's what y'all want to hear. Some more informational like how tos and like how we do things.
But the reason why it's a real competitive bird, and when they start feeding, they want to be where the majority of the group is. That's why you always see them playing leapfrog. If you sit out there and you watch these birds as you're scouting, 10, 15 minutes to 30 minutes, whatever, you'll just see them rapidly just jump over one another. You'll see them bring their wings up and kind of like, it's like spar a little bit. It's there after that food, and they think the bird that just flew over them has a better advantage.
But also, there's so many of them, so they're feeding out and they're going to bare dirt pretty much. Whatever they're eating, they just keep leapfrogging, and they'll go all the way across that field.
Yeah,
and they're almost like invasive. Like
Dude,
they're
it's
not
crazy.
because they're native birds, but they're like they tear up everything. Like they eat crops, they'll eat the wheat down to nothing, to bare dirt, and then in the springtime it makes it harder for that wheat to get back up. But,
and some farmers like them, some farmers don't.
Yeah,
and
they might fertilize the little turds everywhere. Fertilize the wheat.
Yeah. Okay, so check this out. So I was looking at Snap today and ended up seeing a old time video of Nelson and I. We ended up getting to go out to the old cow pasture pond, and it's a funny video. But anyways, speaking of the cow pasture ponds, I'm just curious. So any follower out there that knows any more information on it, just be sure to leave a comment because I'm curious. Does a cow pasture pond, does the reason why it holds ducks, if it's a lot of ducks, because cows poop in the pond?
I don't know about that.
Okay, right across the edge, or the cemetery in Blossom, we've got our sewer treatment water place or whatever.
It's
loaded with ducks.
Well, I think one reason why that's loaded because there's always that stuff on top. And there's something to feed on. It might be shit.
but does the cows produce? You know what I'm saying? Like the cows
and
produce the same thing.
It could.
Anytime you go to a location, it's got a ton of cows on it.
Yeah.
Richard Drake's.
I know.
What'd
I've
you think
also
about it?
heard like if your
Ton of
pool
ducks.
has a bunch of like freshwater shrimp and freshwater like microorganisms
yeah.
in there that the birds eat on, because they don't just eat the plants and stuff. They eat on those little small don't know, crustaceans or whatever is in the freshwater shrimps. I
I'm
don't know.
gonna start doing.
Also heard that.
I'm gonna start doing a little research on it and try to figure some
that's
things out.
interesting.
It's just a good, and this is what it's all about too. Is it's finding these little key. It's like fishing for
Yeah.
redfish. What is that, chicken chain or
Chicken
whatever?
on a chain.
Chicken on a chain. Like
Electric chicken.
that could be it that day. And like just because you catch one fish, you don't catch two on it. I mean,
Yeah.
what's the other one? Not chicken chain, but what's the other one?
Salt and pepper. Electric chicken.
Electric chicken. It might be electric chicken that day. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, it's just food for thought. Just get out there and, oh man, just get out there and make something happen. Figure something out.
Yeah.
Some type of tip, trick, whatever you want to call it.
I know it.
And that way you have the advantage on your buddy.
Exactly.
You can go kill more ducks than he can.
Yeah. So we had a little cast and blast podcast.
Oh,
Ooh, what kind of rhyme? I can rhyme anytime.
yes, sir.
I can't go after that. But anyways, hope y'all enjoyed this podcast, our first live or semi-live recorded podcast. I'm pretty pumped up.
professional.
I know.
Tell a friend.
Yeah. So subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're seeing this for the first time here. Follow us on all of the platforms that you get your podcast from that you can listen to on the go, whatever. And we're excited. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
See
Thanks
y'all
for
on the
tuning
next,
in.
Yeah. We'll catch you on the next one. See ya.